Hello and welcome back to Feed the Queen here on Copeland Plays, where in the last one we got basically started. We did our first couple new colonies, aka prestiges, and we hit a wall. Basically, we couldn't get enough brain matter to get to the next brain matter. It seemed like we were being limited by our brain matter upgrades. This run, I have saved a brain matter because we want to buy the chef. So this run, I went for Fecundity and Stomp, and I think that was what I spent all my brain matter on. So I think you get 3 brain matter before hitting 1 million per minute, and you need to learn, or you get 3. You need to learn to use it in a way that you can get up to 500k and buy the cuisine. That was actually not that hard. You just upgrade your orchard. It's going to produce, I mean, what is it producing right now? 40k a minute. 40k a minute plus 20k a minute, 60. Wait. No, that doesn't seem right at. Oh, that's the total contribution. Pardon. Total contribution 41k. 7 point. Why is it at 194? Oh, per minute? Is this not on a per minute basis maybe? I am because of the multipliers and the bonuses. Okay. So it's producing 41k. That's being doubled to 80k and then getting a bonus of plus 32 per apple, I think is what the numbers I'm seeing here are. Okay. Cool. And we have 500k now that I've, tried to figure out how the game works. Bon appetit. Build the cuisine. We have Pomme d'Amour, which is add a new recipe to the cuisine's menu. Combine 1 apple, 1 honeydew into Pomme d'Amour. I assume that's amour, not amour, like apple of love in French. Golden apple. So golden apple combined into Pomme d'Or, which OR I believe is gold in French. So how does the combinations work? I mean, I guess we can buy one. Or do we want to combine 3 meatballs into a bruschetta? I'm going to do that. So I assume we have it selected. The meatballs get thrown now to our chef, who then stores... Okay, he now has a inventory of 3 of the bruschettes, which then are hauler grabbed and put into our storage. Interesting. Okay, so this guy basically multiplies whatever comes into his pot, but you can only have 1 recipe selected at a time. That's exactly what it looks like. I guess we're gonna have to experiment with both. We can also get a sous chef, doubling cooking speed. Seems pretty insane. So we got 1 sous chef at the very least. We can also get cordon bleu. Multiple recipes may be toggled simultaneously. Well, I think I know what our next brain matter is going to be spent on. I overinvested in harvesters. I have 10 haulers and 11 throwers to get our bonus. But because I got Stomp, they're basically all standing around. Because they're standing around, why don't we just upgrade the aphid pen, and now she'll at least have more stuff to jump on. Do I create farmers? I think I create a couple, actually. And that's just going to upgrade our hot sauce production. It is hot sauce. That's the resource they produce. Excellent. And we are gaining energy. The other thing, and I'm sure I've already got comments on episode 1 of like, dude, when you were testing the frost, no wonder why it didn't work. I got this upgrade in between episodes with DNA. So this allows us to have hot and cold at the same time. And I think that's why we were getting such bad rate loss when we would switch over to the Frostberry. So that's my bad. We have lots of meat in here. What is it called? Bruschettes. We could also, we're getting dangerously close to getting a sous chef. Another sous chef. Which I think is good, though I think I actually need better meat production. Can we try... Let's switch back to honeydew. Does this help our rates better? So this was giving me We're at 244 roughly. We'll round up to like 250, 260. Do the apple upgrade give more? Fill a building reserves beyond its maximum limit. Where did I do that? Oh, over here, because I have so many apples, and all the apples went into there at once. Okay. That's interesting. And we're at 270, 280. Okay. I think that was the move. We can get another sous chef. Also, glacé flambe. Adds one new recipe to the cuisine's menu. Combine one hot sauce, one ice berry into glacé flambe. Glacé flambe is worth 50 food and gives us 6 frostburn. Frostburn every 5 seconds. If the queen has more than 100 stacks of frostburn, increase the multiplier by 2x cold's value. But if I'm putting all my ice berries into the pot, does that actually help me? And we did get another DNA. We got over 400,000 DNA per food per minute, which was awesome. We have plenty, or actually we're a little low on aphid juice, it looks like. So let's create a couple more farmers. Keep up with that. Glacé flambe also seems quite interesting. Now, the thing about this is, if I switch to glacé flambe, I can no longer get pomme d'amour. Which also gold, or the pomme d'ors, are creating value for us. Also, just an observation, by switching to pomme d'ors, we're actually putting up worse rates than when we were on the brochette and the hot sauce. So I think because we're losing production in other places, whereas this is just exclusively making our meat better, the brochettes. So I think I'll stick to that. Glacé flambe. I'm very interested to see how this mechanic functions. So let's pick it up. Let's switch over to it. I would love to get this upgrade, but we need to find a way to make a lot more food per second. And then we switch to ice cold here. We have the hot sauce here. We then upgrade cold affinity quite a bit. Does this work? And we're maxed out on sous chefs. I didn't notice that. So, okay, so currently, the glacé flambés. Wait, increase the multiplier by 2x of cold's value. Is it like doubling what goes into it? Because I'm not applying any cold, but I'm getting an 11 times multiplier. I'm a bit confused how it works, but I'm not gonna complain. We are raking it in. Whoa, okay, we found the combo. We're upgrading cold affinity while we're at it. Okay, so we need to upgrade our meat production now. Actually, so why does it... Oh, because... Wait, I'm so confused. So it's basically just that all our resources are going into making glacé flambés, but because the multiplier is so valuable, it doesn't matter? This also is encouraging me to upgrade my hot sauce production, I guess. So are some of these going straight to my queen? Some of them are going straight to my queen. Okay, interesting. I will then, so we have every upgrade here. I could go create farmers. I think I want to do this. I want to create a bunch of farmers. That's going to increase my hot sauce production. I'm then going to get hot back, hopefully. So far, not so good. They're just all stuck bringing hot sauce over to this kettle. Probably because I haven't upgraded my haulers. Doi. Oh, stay with that. And I'll buy the other upgrade, but we'll stick with random. And those guys don't need upgrades. Hey, we did get the DNA. Okay. So, interesting thing about Frostbite that I kind of didn't notice. Frostbite, as a stat, prevents the application of hot and cold. It's that very last thing on the bottom of the tooltip. Because of... Okay, so the total contribution of Frostburn is 457,000 over the past minute. So it's giving me basically 90% of my income right now. It's going off. So it's definitely worth it. But we're also not very close to this 1 million food per minute mark. Can we do anything about that is kind of the question. I could get another level of cold affinity, and I could get a bunch more trappers. Outside of that, I have basically every upgrade. Oh, here we go. Forgers may forge citrus instead. Citrus bushes have half as many fruits. Does it say how many? Like, wait, is it a toggle? I think it might be a toggle. Every 10 seconds, consume all stacks of sour, convert 3% into multiplier. That seems really good. So if we save up to 1 million, we should get it. Also, when I said, that sounds very good, it sounded like Tucker Carlson. Citrus time. And yes, it is just a toggle. So now we have citrus being generated by our foragers. This is confusing me a little bit. I'm going to upgrade our single forager, and we're going to see how the citrus affects things. I can also harvest it by hand. Okay, so citrus, I think it's good. If we get bigger bushes. How high does this go? Okay, we maxed it out. We'll do multitasking, just in case. And I don't want to get apples. So far, this is seeming to be worthwhile. I think it is. I think this is working. So it's giving me 0.93 multiplier, it looks like. Oh, but that just dropped to 0. Does it build up? Oh, it just lasts 10... Or maybe it's just because I was manually harvesting it. I got a bunch. And then now that I stopped, it stopped giving me the bonus. Kind of feels like that was the case. Okay, I'm going to create, like... Yeah, we're going to just spend all of our money on foragers. Actually, you go for largest. You go for smallest. Does that make the haulers prioritize the citrus bushes? No, it makes them prioritize meat. So let's go closest. Now they're all stuck on the pot. Once they get off the pot, will they start going? They are! Okay. Wait, we're cooking. We're cooking. This is still running fine. We're a little short on hot sauce. But that means more farmers, which I want to hold off on for the moment. So I kind of need more harvesting ability. Also, we are going to hit 1 milli on this run. I'm going to go 1 thrower, 1 hauler, 1 farmer. Let me cook. Let me cook. We did it! We got the level up. Okay, very nice. 1 million per minute, and we get another brain matter. And I know exactly where that is going to go. So that's great. The citrus is definitely helping. It looks like it's giving us a 2x multiplier, roughly, which is that's plenty. That's profit, if you ask me. Okay, we got the brain matter. We get cordon bleu. We get the, and look at that, we got a new achievement. Now we're making meatballs, and hopefully the throwers kind of figure it out. Looks like it's working for the most part. We're kind of wasting a lot of hot sauce, maybe, but maybe not. And we ate a food worth over 10,000. Beautiful. And we're going to get another DNA. Everything is good. Everything is great. We need 8 DNA to reach the next threshold, which I think will be this next DNA. Cool. And then every time you spawn a larva, increase multiplier by 1.1. Where your understanding of mathematics enables the creation of an additional brain matter in the evolution chamber. Don't know what that means just quite yet, but if I manually harvest some of these citrus, will it? Yes, we will get our DNA. So that's kind of a fun thing about citrus, is that I now have a manual, like a, you know, there's like the never-ending debate in idle games of like, do you want to play active or do you want to play idle? And it gives me this option to play active in order to hit benchmarks. But I'm probably hurting my idle rates because my haulers are all stuck over here harvesting citrus. It's almost like this game was actually designed pretty well, which is real cool. Shout out Quietude. I'm excited with what I am seeing here right now. All right, so we have hit more or less a wall. I unlocked this upgrade Ravenous kind of without reading it. I was just like, cheap upgrade. This allows meatballs to be used as bait for sardines. It did almost double our food per minute, so it was worth it. We are no longer making brochettes. I don't know if it's a problem quite yet. We do have one more brain matter, so we need to figure out how to... Also, I should read Ravenous. So, meatballs may be used as bait for sardines. Each meatball provided reduces the duration of the next expedition by 0.4 seconds, down to a minimum of 20 seconds, with 100 meatballs. For every 1 meatball provided as bait, yield an additional 2 sardines sent directly to the queen. And we can upgrade that to max. Wait, is that gonna get us there? That might actually get us there. That upgrade is insane. So, while we took a big hit on our brochette production, we're producing so many sardines at this point. We're at 60 mil per minute. What about when this delivery comes in? I say we were previously at 60 mil per minute. We're also still making pecans, and we're still using limes, as well as the upgrades from our mushroom laboratory. Why did that drop my rates so drastically? Something about getting flow upstream to maximum has nuked my... Oh, we do not have the ability to transfer the amount of sardines that we are harvesting, which means I want to get a tunneler. Oh, we need one more larva. And we don't have... Oh, let's rebirth. Why not? Okay, so we now have no more workers, or all our workers have been returned. Let's create a tunneler. It seems like there are no upgrades for tunnelers. Sounds good. Let's get 15 haulers. And... So wait, what got reset, what didn't? So the throwers are still there. The farmers are still here. My trappers are gone. My sous chefs are still there. And all of my farm stuff is still there. And we do have another brain map. Let's get a lot more mycologists. We need to get this back up to 100% efficiency. Whoops, I just bought a mushroom I didn't mean to, but I don't think it matters. Yeah, because as long as we don't have it selected, we are safe. What? Okay, we could upgrade the fleet and double our amount of sardine production, essentially. Wait, it says I have 17 throwers, but I do not have 17 throwers. I have 0 throwers. Wait, did I just find a bug? Okay, let's read Rebirth. Yeah, my throwers didn't reset. Oh, okay. Here we go. It was just a visual bug. Now we have our throwers back. Okay. Not a big deal. We want to get... It did reset our big game hunters. That's why we have one more brain matter. And I do want to get more meatballs, because more meatballs were quite beneficial for us. What else do I spend these workers on? That needs brain matter. Okay, let's let our rates more or less normalize once all these trappers go out, and we'll figure out where our weaknesses / strengths are, because right now we are quite weak. Okay, I barely didn't catch that on camera, but we hit 100 million. So I want to talk about my setup for it, because this took a lot of tinkering to get right. I had to reset like 3 times. For starters, we have every mushroom unlocked and 25 mycologists. This gives us 100% spore efficiency. And we got our brain matter. That's so huge. Oh wait, we never even checked out the mine. Okay, we will do that in a sec. Maybe that's why this was so hard for me. Basically, what I figured out was because after last run, we spent a DNA on no ceiling. No ceiling is very powerful, and I was definitely underrating it because we've been playing without foragers for so long. But as you can see, I have 21 now. So I just basically reset my trappers and just invested super heavily in foragers, which I think was the play. I think this is very smart. So you can see we're stacking about 200 stacks of sour, which gives us about a 6 times multiplier, which is pretty solid. It really seems to have made a big difference. I think numbers wise, it doesn't like jump off the screen to me. We have the thrower set to largest. This makes sure that the fish get taken out because fish is what's contributing most of our food. And then I have my hauler set to random. Because there's so many bushes, I assume how random works is it just picks a food source somewhere on the map and the hauler goes to it. Because we also got no ceiling and the bushes are much smaller, my haulers can very quickly rip through these bushes. Like, it looks like there's a lot, but we are not having much trouble taking them all away. We are making piquant because it's really good. I've tried everything else. Nothing else is good. Everything else drops your rates down to like basically nothing. And I think that's pretty much it. We're, you know, fully maxed here, fully maxed here. So that was what got me 200k. I do not have a tunneler. And I'm wondering if that would help me. I just didn't quite have the brain matter for it at the moment. We also, next milestone's 1 billion food per minute, so that's going to be impossible. And 200 mil for the next DNA, which also not feeling great about. I think we will quickly unlock the mine just to make sure that doesn't like totally change everything for us. And then, yeah, we will probably need to reset. The only thing, also I made a big game hunter, and now that I'm thinking about it, because my big game hunter is basically to maximize beast mastery, and I don't think I even need any meatballs. The meatballs are not doing much for us. You can use it as bait for sardines, but it's the benefit of bait, it seems like more to me. Oh, I mean, it does actually increase yield. It also sends them directly to the queen, which is kind of convenient, but my throwers are doing enough work to where I'm not as, you know, obsessed with that. But I'm actually looking at this big game hunter and I'm like, you are not needed. So we will, maybe if we want to reset again, we can do that. But first, let's get the mine. Right on, so now that we are billionaires, let's pick up the mine. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have lots of reading. Create miners to extract iron. Increase meatball production of traps by +1. Doesn't seem very good. Create miners to find gold. Doubles all chances for golden apples. I think we were going to get that one on our next run. Miners to extract coal. Increases hot stacks provided by spicy foods by 3. Now, just to see, what does piquant do? It applies hot. And then we are giving +3 to that. Could be pretty good. Salt multiplies the base food value by 5 of cooked dishes in the cuisine. Right now we're getting most of our money from sardines, so I'm not crazy about that one. Double honeydew production, we are not doing honeydew at the moment. Doubles the value of fish bait provided to the fishery for lead. It's interesting, but we're not really going bait build at the moment. Doubles the multiplier of cold. The thing is, we're not actually getting multiplier from cold. We're getting our multiplier from sour. Increases spore efficiency by 20%. This may improve spore efficiency beyond 100%. That seems really good. Clay. Increase the cooking speed. I mean, we're more limited by the inputs to food. And then create miner to explore the mine's underground lake and fish for pearl oysters. Unlock perliculture in the fishery. Additionally, triples the pearl production of shiny aphids. And then finally, crown the sun. Create a brave adventurer to dredge the long-forgotten sunstone. Leveraging its mystical properties removes the cap on ecstasy. I think that will be very good for us. Again, in the future, I'm going to get cave mushrooms to start. Man, I want to get, like, a lot of these, but it's... Okay, let's do coal. Because we are doing spicy. See what that does to our rates. I think... Wow. That actually made a big difference. I wonder if we could get another DNA with this build. What I'm thinking... And one, that none of these affect sour. I think our next run... And yeah, we are going to hit 200 mil easy. Wow, okay. Big shout out to the mine. This is huge. So what I'm thinking for our next reset. Also, what's the next one? Is it 300k? We'll check in a sec. I want to get Ecstasy of Gold. Because... And then go Palm d'Or build. Yes, Palm d'Or build. So... We will probably also pick up... Do I want 2 suns? Do I want Gemini? 3 or fewer foods. This one's really tricky. Especially if you're going to have golden apples. Because then it's apples, golden apples, Palm d'Or. And if you get any honeydew, you're over the limit. So I don't think that one's great. 3 more slots in the orchard. That's pretty interesting. Additional boat is interesting, but I don't think our next run... Oh, double thrower's movement speed might actually be, like, really, really good. Double is just a crazy keyword. Like, it's a keyword you want to keep your eye out for. We do have a brain matter. Where would that be best spent? I don't think it's well spent on jackpot. Nothing there. Nothing there. I could get another boat. Wait, is another boat not going to be, like, crazy? Like, technically we need to save up to get a couple more larvae. But I think another boat will put us over 340. That just feels right. Also, if I got rid of this big game hunter, we could go to another plane. Also, I don't really see how a tunneler helps me at the moment. Because... These guys aren't walking that far. They're basically just grabbing things and throwing it instantly. Yeah, they are actually grabbing things and throwing them instantly. Wait, why? Oh, no. I thought they were throwing the hot sauce to the queen, and I'm like, why are they walking right up to her? But they can literally throw this far, which is actually big. We're already at 250, and we need 340. So let's save up for some more larvae, and let's see if we can get a 3 DNA reset. I think that's going to be where we will hit the wall, and then we can try the Palm d'Or Ecstasy build. Get the larva, get the boat. Will this allow us to hit our limit, or, 350 million, or sorry, 340 million? We will have to wait, because it, takes a moment to kind of build up. Right, so getting another boat. What I assumed was since 2 boats was producing most of our food, adding a third, each boat was producing roughly 100 million. Adding another one should have added roughly another 100 million. But there is something going on, and maybe it's that my haulers and throwers are more distracted grabbing sardines that they cannot keep up with other aspects of the run, or, you know, of what's going on. And it really didn't make, like, almost any difference getting another boat. So 2 boats seems to be the sweet spot for our current setup. I mean, again, we're a little bit higher. Actually, this is probably the highest I've seen it. Wait. Did I speak too soon? All of a sudden, my numbers are looking actually pretty good. We also have like a weird citrus build going, and I actually just don't know if that's the move. Anyway, it does look like we are still maxing out around like 260, so we're strong, but we're not, you know, busted. 2.7 mil for more larva or bill. We could save up, but I just don't think it's making that big a difference. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to reset. But while I have teased it, this episode almost guaranteed has gone like insanely long. I'm kind of still getting back into the swing of making videos, and I don't have a good sense of like how long I've recorded for. So I think we will end the episode here. If you enjoyed this episode of Feed the Queen, check out episode 1 if you haven't already. I assume you have. Whoa! My neighbor's cat just made the angriest sound, and my cat is flipping out. I don't know what's going on. I think there's a little bit of a cat fight in the alley. And that's a good sign to end the episode. Alright, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.